Hey scrappers, if you're looking to figure out what materials you should sell this week or hold this week, now is the time to do it. Our weekly report is going to give you that information, up-to-date market news, pricing. Let's get right into it and we'll talk about it inside. Hey scrappers, Tom here from the iScrap app, and today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024, and now that we have figured out what's happening with the presidential election, with the Republican winning, we're going to be able to start to give you an idea of what we expect to see in the coming months when it comes to some of the metals. But again, these are forward predictions and things take time to develop. What do I mean? Now we have a winner, but now we have to start to get cabinet nominees. Now we have to see how the Senate and the Congress races work themselves out. Where are the majorities going to be? If we have things that are relatively simple, right, we should start to be able to see laws getting developed. But if we don't see laws getting developed, it's really just going to rely on what the majorities look like and what type of bipartisan acts we can start to put together. So I don't know where to go from here, but let me talk about things that could happen in the coming months. Now that a Republican has won, I do believe that some of these electric vehicle mandates are going to start to be pulled back, whether through executive action or by changing of laws. What does that do for the catalytic converter industry? Well, it starts to put a different and bigger increase on things like hybrids and gas and diesel engines that get better gas mileage. That's a great thing when it comes to catalytic converters because it gives us the ability to know that they're going to be used for the next few years and not phased out as quickly as we thought. So if that happens, we're going to be able to start to see those platinum, palladium, and rhodium prices pushing their way up because U.S. is such a large producer of cars. And if we're doing more on the hybrid and gas side and less on the electric vehicle side, naturally, they're going to need more of those products. So hopefully we can start to see those catalytic converter prices increasing in the coming months. But again, don't forget, we're here in November. We have 2 months, 2+ months until until Republican gets sworn in. We have to get through the holidays. We have to get through the transition. We have to get through nominations. I don't see a lot happening for the first 6 months of 2025. There might be some quick wins that happen in November and December, but those are going to trail off a little bit as people go into the holidays, as companies are reporting profits. I do expect those numbers to trail off a little bit, and we'll see what happens from there. Now, it will be interesting on a steel side of things because I do expect the Republican administration to really put an emphasis on oil and gas drilling, which could start to lead to decreased energy prices. So fuel, oil, all those things starting to move down is going to be a really great thing. But again, time. It could be 6 to 12 months before that happens. So we might not start to see those prices coming down at the pump and in transportation costs for a while. And if that's the case, then we're just going to continue to see more of the same. But at least we know, and we'll start to hear, and I'll report every week as I kind of pop in here, what's going to happen moving forward, when and where I think we're going to start to see these changes. But a decreased transportation should lead to increased commodity prices. But again, we're in a wait and see mode, and we just have to wait and see what happens in the coming months, really, weeks and months. I do believe that the copper prices are going to take a hit. Less emphasis on renewables means that less transmission lines are going to happen. But what has happened in the past 4 years has really pushed forward this energy conversion from oil and gas and really pushed it to renewables, and that's not going to stop. These utility companies that are investing in wind and solar and battery storage, they're not going to be stopping. When you look at the projects that have already started, they're not going to be stopping because they have too many millions or billions of dollars invested from some of the laws that we saw created the last 4 years to projects that are being applied. So it'll just be interesting to see how those things work themselves out. But again, we're going to be waiting months to be able to see these things. Normally, you don't start to see changes from administrations for 3 to 6 months into the administration, and that won't start until January. Even if they have all of these proactive things lined up, presidential executive orders can be signed day one. you put your name on a piece of paper, you might not see something happen for a matter of months, and that's a possibility that we just have to wait and see how that works itself out. One thing that I'm going to be interested in is steel prices. Is the increased energy going to lead to those decreased energy prices, and is that going to help the steel market get jumped up? I think that the answer is yes, but we need to see a little more investment. Hopefully we start to see some interest rates coming down, and with all of those things kind of paired together, we'll start to see a commodities market shaping itself up to be solid for at least a year or 2 years. But again, we need to be able to see when and what happens. We might be able to have some wars that get pushed out. We've seen the Republican candidate talking about ending these wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. So those could help buoy the markets forward for rebuilding purposes and other positive growth methods moving forward. So we're going to be watching this very closely now that we know a Republican has won the presidential nomination. Now it's a wait and see mode. Senate, Congress, what the number is going to end up being when all the votes are finally tallied, because there's always races that take a few days to work themselves out. Runoffs could always happen for smaller seats. So we need to really wait and see what happens. But right now we do start to see an increase in markets, and we'll see what happens moving forward. So we'll talk next week after we start to hear how the new administration is going to be transferring and some things that they're going to be doing starting off in January and February. And hopefully we'll be able to report on that in a positive way and figure out what's going to be going on with the scrap markets in 2025 and beyond. Today is Wednesday, November 6, 2024. Any other questions, let me know. My name is Tom Buchel from the iScrap app. Until next week, I'll scrap you later.
Thanks for watching our video. For $2.99 a month, by becoming a member, you can get access to early videos, member-only videos, merchandise discounts from our store, and priority comments that we answer before answering any other scrappers. Click the link below to learn more. Until next time, scrap you later.